What an incredible week we had this past weekend. All the way around, really. It was great NFL week, but more importantly, it was a fantastic week in college football. Um, I mean, it was absolute cinema, and I'm just gonna let Ryan kind of give you his thoughts as we start off this podcast a little different. Ryan, go ahead.
Well, we had a lot of really exciting matchups in championship week. First of all, I'm going to lead off with Texas absolutely dismantling Oklahoma State. It was therapeutic. It was good to see. And Texas, as did they last week against Texas Tech, made a much needed statement, first of all. Then we move on to, let's see, Alabama, Georgia. Great matchup, great game. Alabama comes out on top. Will they be rewarded for it? Was the question we were left with after that game. Additionally, Washington finally took care of the pain in my ass that was Oregon and Oregon fans. And so I'm very thankful for Michael Penix Jr. for that, even though he is public enemy number one now. And then
Yep.
Florida State and Louisville, they were on the field at the time they were supposed to be on the field. Louisville, I feel like I didn't watch a Louisville game this year. I'll be honest with you, I didn't, and so I only knew what I was told, and I feel like I was sold a false bill of goods because the team that played against Florida State was not the team I heard about with this great offense, and they were really going to expose how bad Florida State is without Jordan Travis, and that just didn't happen. Gave us some hope. Played good defense against their third string, who, not too good.
Mr. Glenn.
Yes, Florida State's defense looked fine. They did the job they were supposed to do, but I really attribute that to more of an incompetent offense. Jake Plummer, get ready to learn Canadian, buddy.
The CFL is ready for him. Yeah, I mean, what an awful game to watch. And some of the stats include 166 total yards of offense in the air. The rushing game was better. Good for them, I guess. Both quarterbacks didn't get above 3.5 yards per pass, and the leading Jack Plummer's QBR was a whopping 13.1, compared to Brock Glenn's 12.7. So an absolute masterclass from the QB position in that game. And you know what? I don't care that we left a 13-0 team out. I'm glad we did, because I don't want to see Michigan go and curb stomp an awful Florida State team. They don't even deserve 5 personally. I think they're 9 or 10. But I 100% account injuries and depth. And Florida State has no depth, and Jordan Travis obviously is the reason why they were good, which, good for him. Maybe his draft stock goes up when he gets healthy, but I don't know. The committee made the right choice. And I actually, I thought Georgia was still going to get in somehow over Alabama, even after losing. I didn't think Georgia was going to drop to 6. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. You think so?
It makes sense. I feel like the committee, we know the committee was low on them all year because they took any opportunity they could to put Ohio State above them.
That's true. But I didn't think about that.
No conference championship, 1 loss, and then you look at the teams ahead of them, whereas certain years you see number 1 lose and then they still get in at 4. I don't think that could have happened this year because of Texas, because of Alabama's resume with a win over them. Florida State. I don't think it was going to happen. I'm surprised. It doesn't matter, but I'm surprised that they're ranked below Florida State. And I feel terrible for Florida State fans and the Florida State team. I do. But we have to acknowledge that this is an entirely different team without Jordan Travis. And even with Jordan Travis, they had several close calls. And there was a reason that they, despite being undefeated, weren't in the top 3 for the majority of the year. They were a fringe playoff team that the committee was waiting to see slip up, and they didn't. And so props to them for that. But absolute right decision. I think that we have the best 4 teams in the playoff, and we have 2 really exciting matchups. And so I think that the world of college football wins. And so the committee did a good job in their last
100%.
year.
We definitely have the right for, and it's the first time ever, if you think about it, the average margin of victory in these games has been 19 plus. I mean, so they've gotten it wrong time and again. I think their ass was kind of on the line. If you think about it, they're like, all right, it was all about it this year. Everyone was talking about it this year because there were 6 deserving teams, and I can't stress it enough, because I know last episode I was complaining about they're going to get it wrong. They're going to get it wrong. And you know what? They surprised me personally, and I'm glad I was wrong. It's good to be wrong in those situations. So good for college football. And now, Ryan, let's just hop right into important bowl game predictions, since we've kind of gotten all that out of the way. Unless, do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that pretty much covered everything on that topic.
All right, perfect. So let's just go right into it. What does your playoff bracket look like? And I know everyone's going to we kind of bias, but I genuinely think I will agree with who you have in the first game.
Okay, so Michigan, Alabama.
No, Texas, Washington. That is the second game of the.
Okay.
But go Michigan, Alabama first.
Okay, so for Michigan, Alabama, I think that Alabama wins that. I think that Michigan doesn't have an offense. Alabama's a better team overall. They finally figured out how to win games with Jalen Milroe, who I always knew was good, but I felt like weren't playing to his strengths. And now they are, and they're a lot better of a team than we saw earlier in the year. So I have them in the first game. Michigan, good defense, fine offense, but fine won't get it done in this scenario.
Yeah, I was going to say, I completely agree. Alabama's offense looks really good. Michigan, I mean, you do have to put into account that McCarthy's had a pretty good year. I'm not going to lie. They don't wow me. The receivers don't wow me, especially with Alabama's secondary. I think Alabama's secondary is pretty elite, and but they do have Corum, and so you always got to account for that. And if history repeats itself, we saw Alabama struggle against a good running back in Jonathan Brooks early in the year. So yeah, I don't know. It's 56% favorite. It was Jonathan Brooks, right? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas got 4 running backs, and they're all really freaking good.
Each one better than the last.
Yeah, it's actually crazy what they're doing over there. But yeah, Michigan's 56% favorite, opening at -2. I think this is one of the lower spreads we've seen in a semifinal game, and this is 1 versus 4. 1 versus 4, and we're at -2 for the 1 seed. This is what it's supposed to be. So Ryan, go ahead and give us a take of it at an Alamo Bowl rematch of last year.
Alamo Bowl rematch that you, or should I say your dad, called a year ago.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Cool. And I wasn't surprised by that. I thought that the team we saw last year in Washington was good, but kind of a step away. And so I wasn't surprised to see them take that step up. Obviously, Penix is amazing. He will be the best quarterback that Texas has faced this year. And so that'll be a big challenge for Texas secondary. No fear about Texas not being able to stop the run. I think it's really all on Texas secondary and make sure their offense shows up like it has. And if all those things happen, I have Texas taking it in probably a close one. I think that it'll be the exact opposite of last year, where I think Texas lost by a touchdown.
Yep, 20-27.
And I think they'll win by a touchdown.
That's fair. ESPN has it at 68% in favor for Texas. I don't know if I like those numbers personally. You always want to be the underdog, in my opinion. But Texas -4, I think that's safe. Personally, I have Texas by a field goal. I think Bert Auburn does it in the end. I think it comes down to Auburn. Auburn sends us on to Alabama. Ironically enough. But yeah, we got 2 1,100-yard rushers facing off. Texas has the most elite in the Power 5, the most elite rushing defense I'm not counting Big Ten, honestly, because Big Ten offense really sucks, and we've seen that time and again over the year. If you want, you can maybe say Michigan has a pretty good rush defense, or Iowa, but Texas in a offensive heavy conference has shut down the running game completely. The issue is their secondary. It always has been, as we know, throughout history.
Yeah.
The secondary's always been the problem for Texas, and it will continue to be an issue. It's probably going to be a shootout. I think Washington's pretty comparable to OU. OU teams have passed, where it's just air raid. That's what they're going to throw at Texas. And so it could be 42-45 final, for all I know, which I think that would be awesome. I think the more offense, the better. In college, I know in pros it's a little different, but I like offense. So, yeah. And then, so since we both have Texas, Alabama, Ryan, who wins the rematch?
It's very difficult to beat the same team twice. It's very difficult. Winning is hard, you know. A lot of things could go right, a lot of things could go wrong. That being said, give me Texas. Texas all the way. All the live long day, baby.
little bias out there. Maybe a little bit.
All the bias in the world right here. Give me the Horns. Horns by 1,000,000.
So I'm actually going to use facts and logic here, and I don't see Texas winning twice personally. As a former, for those who are listening and not watching, Ryan just mouthed, I don't either. But Ryan didn't say that. I said that. So Ryan's
I
still
didn't say anything. I did not say anything.
It's hard to beat Nick Saban twice, and to beat him twice in the same season has never happened before. I don't think. Georgia, no, because Alabama won the SEC championship game, and then Kirby Smart won the national championship. So yeah, it's never happened before. Good luck. If Steve Sarkisian can do the impossible, then he instantly pops up in the top 5 greatest college coaches ever, honestly. But yeah, I have Alabama. I think Alabama's the national champion. They're playing the best football right now. They got hot at the right time. I know Auburn was a scare, but you throw record and skill out the window in games like that. You saw it with Texas and OU this year, and OU's not a very good team. But here we are. And Washington snuck by a lot of games this year. And Michigan's really the only one that's kind of dominated everywhere they went. But I'm just not confident in the Big Ten, which is why I have Alabama. Yeah. So that's why I have Alabama.
And you know what's interesting? If Texas and Alabama both make it to the national championship game, Texas wins either way. Either they win the national championship or they say, hey, we beat the national champions.
So that would be insane levels of cope. That's all I'm saying. That is an insane cope job already. He's preparing himself already, which is wild. But
no, I already told you, Horns by 1,000,000.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Put the mortgage on the Horns in that matchup to anyone listening.
No, don't guys. We're not here to give gambling advice. Although I will say bet on Texas.
In the state of Texas.
Texas money line. Yeah, Prize Picks, maybe not. Texas money line, against Washington, that might hit. That'll be my bet. But we'll see. This is the first time in a long time we go into a national championship game and we're like, we don't know who's gonna win. TCU, we all knew TCU was gonna get blown out of the water, and they did. Well, the year before was Alabama, Georgia, wasn't it? I guess. But Alabama had some injuries and transfers that kind of really shafted it towards the end. So I guess you could say that. But anyways, moving on. Do I want to talk about... I guess I'll talk a little bit about some exciting bowl matchups that we might see. First, the first one that's notable, it sticks out to me, is our good old friends at College Station and the Cowboys of Oklahoma State are warming up NRG Stadium for UT, which I think is awesome. Very thoughtful of them. December 26th.
So what good little brothers.
I know. Both of them. Both of them really doing us a favor. We're leaving one of our brothers and joining the other one. So I appreciate the parting gift and the welcoming gift. With that being said, OSU by probably 40.
45.
45. All right. The over-under is 53. So it's going to be, what? 50. I'm not doing it. Anyways, moving on. We have Louisville not in a New Year's Six because they didn't deserve it, but they're playing USC. And Ryan, I want to know, without Caleb Williams, does USC have a chance at beating a really bad Louisville team?
Do we know who's starting for them at quarterback?
Whatever their second string is, which is, if I can get there fast enough, it is Miller Moss.
Louisville. Louisville.
He had a good game. He's had decent stats.
Yeah, USC doesn't have a defense. And if they had any defense, Louisville wouldn't score. But I really don't know how well they'll be able to move the ball because Louisville does have a pretty decent defense. So give me Louisville because USC is kind of mid even when they're at full strength.
That's fair. 7-5 USC team is underdogs 7.5 points. Ironically enough, good job Vegas. I like the subtleties they put into the lines. What do I like? Oh, here's a good one. If the ticket's cheap enough, I might go. Is the Valero Alamo Bowl with Arizona and OU. Personally, I have not seen an Arizona game this year. I don't know how they play. I know OU's defense sucks, but OU's offense is pretty good. So, Ryan, do you have any input on this?
I do have a little bit of input. Arizona plays fast and hard. They fly around. Very fast team. Put up a lot of points. I don't know how good their defense is, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Arizona by 10.
By 10?
By 10.
I like that because I don't know. Personally, I don't know this Arizona Wildcat team, but I will root for them as a fellow Wildcat of a different school.
There you go.
Yeah, so the spread is -3 Arizona, but ESPN's FPI has OU at 75% chance, which I think so. Does Vegas, who knows better, Vegas or ESPN? We'll find out. So I like that one. That's going to be a good shootout probably. You said they play hard and fast, so I like hard and fast. Pause. Play. All right, moving on. Here we go. Last one I'll talk about. Actually, two more.
Okay.
And the big one is at the end. 13-0 Liberty national champions, or they should be at least. 13-0 Liberty playing Oregon. How bad does Liberty lose?
By so many points. 30 at least.
They're
40.
favored by 16 right now. 16 points.
That should that I'm sorry, that anyone from Liberty, no offense no offense meant, but that should have gone to SMU. Give it to a team that can put up a fight.
Yeah, and I have a buddy at SMU too, and I bet he would agree. Shout out Carter. Congrats on he won a cool award. I apologize for not remembering
cool
it. Yeah, it was given to the most outstanding walk-on at SMU. So good job. Congrats, Carter.
Wonderful. Great work.
We're rooting for you. We're always rooting for you over here.
Go get that scholarship, buddy.
Oh, he already got it. He's a senior.
Oh,
he's been on. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, I think Liberty's going to upset Oregon. Oregon's that loss against Washington's devastating, and I think Liberty is the next Boise State against OU in the Fiesta Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, give me Liberty. My sister's alma mater. I don't know anything about them besides that.
All right,
but
fair enough.
And, you know, I just realized Bo Nix has 4,100 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, and 3 picks, which is nuts.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about Bo Nix in a second. First, we'll go to the game that matters the most to fans down in Florida, and that is Florida State versus Georgia. Ryan, go ahead.
Georgia by so many. Georgia was already the better team, even when they had Jordan Travis. and now they don't have anyone competent behind center, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get really ugly. Unless, Georgia's not motivated like in 2018. But even then,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll matter that much. I think that the Dogs take this one.
Give me them Dogs. Ironically enough, they only have them at 60% chance. ESPN.
Really?
And the spread's 14, so Vegas knows. Vegas kind of knows it up. Yeah, I don't. Can you imagine what happens if FSU wins this game? How bad it's going to be. It's going to be a bloodbath, and we've already seen Ron DeSantis. I don't bring up this isn't really politics, but Ron DeSantis is threatening to sue the NCAA over this. It's not going to work. This is not an objective. This is a subjective committee. Okay, let's just throw that out of the way. They use stats to make their choice, but at the end of the day, it's who do I think not deserves it, but who do I think is the best, and so it's an opinionated thing. I agree with them, but yeah. So that would be absolutely insane if they win. I kind of hope they do win, because we're going to see the AP give FSU the national championship, and the other, whoever wins the college football playoff national championship they'll split it. Now, that won't be as good if it's Texas, because that would be pretty big asterisk by them. But yeah, I think it would be hilarious. I just have a strong feeling the AP is going to do it. If Florida State wins this game, the AP will crown them, like, what was it, 2002 with LSU and OU, something like that, or Nebraska, something like that.
Something.
I know. I remember LSU split it with someone else. So, yeah, I think that'll be definitely something to watch for sure. But yeah, I think Florida State loses by at least 20. I don't think it's going to be close. No. So, last thing, we had our Heisman finalist, Penix Jr., Nix, Daniels, and Harrison Jr. It's tough to give it to Harrison.
Marv?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough to give it to him. They don't do that.
It's not him.
It's a quarterback award, unfortunately. Although Hutchinson sort of won it, 2 years ago? Or last year? 2 years ago? It was Hutchinson's. Hutchinson deserved it. But that's in the past. Who cares? After looking at Bo Nix's stats, and I told you them, who do you think wins the Heisman? I have Bo Nix.
I still think it's Jaden Daniels.
Really? I just don't. His stats don't even compare to Penix.
But he passes the eye test.
The eye test has been quashed. The eye test died last week. All right. The committee had decided the eye test was dead. Or did they? Because they didn't let Florida State. No. Ooh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the eye test
just switched teams.
My mind is blown right now. I didn't even think about that.
No.
Okay. I guess it's Jaden Daniels.
It's Jaden Daniels.
I've changed my mind.
It's always
it's Jaden Daniels. That's wild. I can't believe. I don't think my mind's ever changed that fast. All right. Jaden Daniels for Heisman. I don't even think there's anything else to decide here. Let's move on. Wild. My mind is blown. My eyes are watering of how my mind just exploded. NFL is great.
Yeah, nice, sweet little segue.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
rattled. So
NFL is
tell us why.
Never great.
Tell us why it's great.
Because we had good matchups this week. You look at Monday Night Football. You had two backups duking it out in overtime. It was beautiful. It was fantastic, and the Jags lost. Even better. Hate to see Trevor Lawrence go down. You want to see him get back up.
Yeah, he'll be back.
He'll be okay. He'll be fine. Give him a couple weeks. But yeah, a lot of great matchups, a lot of great football, exciting. Very rare this season. Very rare. Go up to New England. Very close 6-point game between the Chargers and the Patriots, and the Patriots lose it in a heartbreaker.
But surely it wasn't the only 6 points of the game, right? No? Okay, that's a tough set.
Oh,
They're
real
one loss
quick, I'll talk.
closer. They're one loss
Yeah,
closer to the
no,
first round pick.
the tank is in full effect. It's inspirational. Bailey Zappi with his first start of the season. Um, what else can you say? The Patriots got shut out by statistically the worst defense in the league. And beyond that, the Patriots didn't even have a single snap in the red zone. They were not in the red zone a single time that game.
Oh
So,
boy.
that's cool. It's good. It's good. It is great. Yeah. Anyway, Will, take it away.
7 punts, 2 turnover on downs, and a fumble. 7 punts, 2 turnover on downs, and a fumble. 10 possessions total in the whole game. I mean, that's what you want to watch. Go ahead. That's fine. I didn't watch it. I watched on Thursday the offensive masterclass that Geno Smith gave us, and the disaster class that I forgot his first name, but Bland. I like how last week we were talking about DPOY for him after his record-breaking pick 6, and then got absolutely torched.
It was bad.
That was great. DK Metcalf, 6 receptions, half of them were touchdowns for 134 yards.
God.
Cook.
DK Metcalf, fantasy god of the week.
Either him or Tyreek Hill is always pulling up. But yeah, my Rams looked great against a good Browns defense. The Browns defense was not the problem here, all right? And we put up 36. That's all I'm saying. Rams might be a wild card team and then lose and get a bad draft pick. Kyron Williams, Stafford looked great against a good defense. I'm happy, all right? It was a great week for me all around. I'm trying to think. Your boy Gardner Minshew.
He's having a year. I told you, I told everyone that he is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Did he prove it? Has he been proving it? Yes or no?
This game he did.
I'm just saying. And I started him in fantasy this week, so I put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, I mean, 63% completion, 2,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It's starting. It's a starting. 84% or 84 QBR or 84 rating, sorry. 84 QBR would be nuts. Yeah, 84 passer rating. Good numbers. They're not elite and they're not bad.
I never said he was elite. I just said he was a starter.
I know a few teams that could use a quarterback like him right now. One of them being the Jets and the Patriots. But the Patriots are tanking. The Patriots are tanking, and the Jets were trying their hardest not to, because they were hoping Aaron Rodgers would come back, which he still might.
He won't. He was going to, but now that they lost 4-8, he won't. Which is probably for the best.
I mean, that was also an ugly game. I don't know what was uglier, that one or the Patriots Chargers. Probably. Well, no, I would say the Jets, because the Jets started off with a safety in that game. And then were unable to score pretty much after that.
I don't know, man. I watched Patriots, and it was ugly.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'll tell you what an ugly game was, and that was the 49ers and the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I know the Eagles had some injuries, but
they're frauds.
But they got blown out at home, is the thing. And of course, Brock Purdy is making me eat my words again. He is looking really good. And so, you know what? Congrats, Brock Purdy. I'm starting to believe a little bit. If CMC is not in a game and before the playoffs and they play the way they did the last time CMC was out, then maybe we'll have a different conversation. I still think CMC should win the MVP. He just changes that offense. And
absolutely.
He's the playmaker.
I can't get behind Brock Purdy as long as I firmly believe you put Mac Jones on that team and Mac plays even better.
That's exactly what I said. I was telling some of my buddies who were watching that game, I said, I guarantee you put Mac Jones in that Niners set, it's the same result and maybe an extra win, honestly, without CMC.
Yeah.
So, but Brock Purdy's getting it done. You gotta give him his flowers, because he's given a great team. He's doing a great job with it. So
yeah, exactly.
Props to him. that doesn't change my mind that CMC is the MVP.
I agree.
CMC is the most valuable player in the league. But do I think it's going to go to Purdy? Probably, or Prescott, which would be really cursed. We're talking about an MVP discussion that features Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. Isn't that the most awful thing you've heard in the last, I don't know, at least week?
Yeah, that's gross.
So I mean, and then the Chiefs look bad as well. Ryan, you want to touch up on that?
Yeah, the Chiefs, I mean, they are handicapped because they don't have anyone for Mahomes to throw the ball to. And, their defense is fine. Like I said last week, Mahomes is still amazing, but there's just, and it's not a lot, but there is a lack of talent that is really difficult to make up for. And that's a problem they're going to keep running into, even if they walk to the Super Bowl with this weak AFC.
Yep. And I personally think they should. I know he's tiny. They should try to make Clyde Edwards-Helaire a slot receiver, just to get some. He's got great hands. Okay. Yeah. I know he's 5'7". He can run. So you put him out there, run some slants, little Michael Thomas action. I think you can move the chains a little more than what you have been doing. Now, with that being said, they're screwed because the trade deadline's passed, correct? Yeah, it passed, what, 2 weeks ago? Something like that?
Yeah.
They screwed themselves by not going out and grabbing a receiver. They really did. But
they could have had any of the ones in New England for free.
Yeah,
just get them off the team.
So we'll see, though. It looks good. And that brings us into more predictions. I already gave you my MVP. Is your MVP the same, or do you have a different one?
If everything keeps going the way it's going, give me Dak Prescott.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to say, man. I get it. I'm not there yet.
There's no way around it if this keeps up.
What a miserable time we're in, bro. The Cowboys actually might do it. The Cowboys might do it. We live in a world where Texas is a state of champions, really, which is,
oh, yeah.
If I was a Texas sports fan, it'd be great. It's not. I'm not a Texas sports fan besides the Spurs. And the Spurs suck.
Spurs do suck.
But back-to-back World Series champions have been from Texas. The Mavs, nah. The Rockets, that's okay. Cowboys. Basketball's the NBA. Texas and the NBA is about a year behind, or 2 years behind. But the Cowboys look good. The Texans the Texans aren't Super Bowl winning. They're not winning the Super Bowl. The Texans look good.
Especially for year one.
Yeah.
They look great for year one.
And then, of course, you have the Longhorns in the semifinals. So good for Texas.
In the Texas Bowl.
Yeah, I guess so. A&M beats ACU, and that was a nail biter for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
So, all right. So MVP, I have CMC. You got Dak. Top seeds. Are we saying? I'm saying Chiefs and Niners.
Yep.
That's all right. Some mutual agree there. Championship. I have the same thing. Chiefs and Niners. I just don't think there's anyone as bad as the Chiefs look. Once January comes, they turn it to a different level.
Look out for the Colts.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I will not look out for the Colts.
Fair enough.
I don't even think the Colts are going to make it. I know they're on a 4-game win streak, but
they'll make it. They're going to get there.
Where are they at right now? 7? And on the doorstep of that's the Texans, so watch out. But I mean, yeah, they got Pittsburgh and Cleveland above them, so I guess so. Maybe the Colts sneak in. Dolphins and Ravens. I don't like the Dolphins defense. I think the Ravens probably have the best chance, honestly. I'm going to go Ravens, honestly. I think the Ravens are the best team. And they're playing quiet. And the quiet teams are the ones who we see in the Super Bowl. normally at this time. The ones who are quiet. They had a bye? I'm pretty sure, right? I think they were out this week. So, but still, they're quiet.
And the only other thing in NFL I'll say, America, get ready, because on Thursday, live in living color, the New England Patriots will be in your living rooms playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Prime time, baby. They took Monday Night Football from us, but they can't take Thursday Night Football from us. America's not ready to see this
Hold
team.
on. Why are the Steelers getting so many Thursday games?
Why?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Why are the Patriots on Thursday? But why are the Steelers? That's like their fourth one.
But
I
not
see them
only.
on Amazon all the time.
Yeah, they are on there a lot. But not so they moved us out of Monday Night Football next weekend. Fair enough. But they can't take our Thursday Night Football. And they can't take our prime time Christmas Eve matchup against the Denver Broncos.
I mean, it's just
It's an
embarrassing.
absolute cinema.
I'll flash that on the screen if I remember. Absolute disaster class is what it's really going to be.
It's going to be so bad.
Do the
Bailey
Patriots
Zappi's
win another
gonna be-
game? I don't see it, personally speaking.
Maybe this week. If we're going to win another game, it's going to be against the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers are getting outscored 192 to 229 and have a 7-5 record. I think that's absolutely insane. And but Matt Canada's gone, so who knows?
Yeah, but so Thursday night, get ready for Bailey Zappi versus Mitchell Trubisky.
That's awful. And then we have 2 Monday night games coming up.
Yeah,
Rare.
we do. It's beautiful.
Dolphins and Titans, snooze. Dolphins win. Packers and Giants, snooze. Packers win. That's all I'm going to say. The game of the week, though, and I want your take, is Eagles and Cowboys in Dallas. It could be it may be an NFC championship preview if the Rams play the Niners. If the Rams play the Niners in the playoffs, the Niners are done. Okay.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
I don't know. I got Cowboys, man. Eagles aren't playing well, and it's at home.
The Cowboys,
it's in Dallas.
we know who the Cowboys are. They're going to lose to these better teams. They're going to destroy mid teams. They're going to lose to bad teams, and they're going to lose to really good teams.
The Eagles are in the same boat, though. So is this just a generational
That's
mid-off?
It might be, but I will say, if Dak Prescott performs and they beat the Eagles, I think Dak gets the MVP.
That would be something. I'm going to shift real quick because this affects you.
Okay.
This has nothing to do. This just happened on my screen just now. This is baseball. Yankees are acquiring Alex Verdugo for Richard Fitz, Greg Weissert, and Nicholas Judas. Red Sox have officially drained out everyone from the Mookie Betts trade. Oh boy. You know what? We should talk about that next podcast. I want to let you sit on that for a week. That's tough to hear. So sorry, Ryan.
At least he has to shave that terrible beard now.
Yes, that's true. At first I thought you were talking about me. I was like,
No.
why is he going after me about that? I'm just
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty devastating. A little segue. The Red Sox have been on the ass end of the 2 worst trades in MLB history.
Wow.
Personally speaking, you know, life goes on. Patriots are good, right? Surely. Oh man, this is like the best time of the only issue I have is the Celtics are good, except the Celtics lost to Tyrese Halliburton and Drew Holiday got absolutely dominated. All right.
It doesn't matter. We're focused on the real trophy that they give out in June. I know you don't know what that is, Will. I know you don't know what that looks like. You have no idea what that is.
I've seen more in my life than you have.
But
You've seen one.
More.
You've seen one. You have been conscious for one. I've been conscious
17,
03, 05,
1,
07,
2,
and 14.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I have
8, 9,
I have been
10,
alive on this
11,
earth
12,
as a Spurs
13,
fan.
14, 15,
Here we
16,
go,
17.
guys. You
That
can't win
took
against these
4
guys.
hands to
It's
count. That
it,
took
it's
4
just
hands.
it's
It took
embarrassing,
4
really,
hands.
because
You
he's
have
only
4 hands.
the
I don't have
Celtics.
4 hands.
The Celtics have only won one since the '80s, so let's just sit on that one for a while. I've been
can't
alive
say
for
that.
4.
That's a terrible argument.
It's not. It's really not because the
It
Celtics
is.
won
How do
all
you-
their rings. The Celtics won
How do you
all
win
their rings
championships?
when plumbers were playing, dude.
Not
Okay.
Bird. Not Bird.
Okay, what? Bird won 3?
Yes. But
Okay,
you know,
embarrassing.
okay, you know
Anyways.
what? I'm sorry that the Celtics can't win a championship in the 90s when Reggie Lewis and Len Bias both die. How do you come back from that?
You
as a
can't,
team?
dude. They
That
got
is the
comp
whole
picks first
thing.
off.
Oh,
I know.
okay. Fair
It-
enough. You're right. Comp picks. That's better than them. That's better than
Are you
those
gonna-
two. No. And then I will say that the Paul Pierce Antoine Walker thing was a bad deal. That was a bad duo.
I mean, sure. I'll give you Reggie Lewis and that's
And then we got sold
that's
out
tough.
of the Tim Duncan
But-
sweepstakes.
But you got to remember, you also have to remember that the Celtics were still in MJ's. This was MJ's NBA. Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
And-
think they don't make the finals.
And the Celtics also had terrible coaching every year.
Yeah, so
No,
Sure,
I
you
don't
can.
disagree. I don't. Yeah.
and
But,
personally
we all-
speaking, them two passing away. I mean, it's obviously it's a tragedy. It doesn't it doesn't set up the Celtics for their 2008 run. If you think
No.
about it, then Reggie Lewis would be in nearing the end of his prime in mid 2000s. They would just be a middle of the road team. Kevin Garnett's not there. Paul Pierce maybe is there. I don't know who they draft. Depends on, but
History would have changed to be sure.
so maybe
But-
the Celtics have one less.
Len
gotta
Bias
think
was
of it.
also Len Bias was better than MJ, according to all reports.
It's like that video of LeBron James and MJ playing when LeBron was like 18 and MJ was 36, and we've never seen the video because I know MJ got his ass cooked, okay, by an 18-year-old with half a bag.
Yeah.
So LeBron's the GOAT. Anyways, that's how we got here. Len Bias to LeBron being the greatest player of all time somehow.
There it is. There you go.
I had to do it to him. Speaking of LeBron, the play-in tournament is actually fun. I know not for you.
It is. Well, it is fun though. It makes you care about games you wouldn't otherwise care about, and it's been demonstrated on the court that the players care about this.
100%. And now we're
So
actually
it's
talking about
fantastic.
NBA games in December.
Yeah,
So
and it's fantastic. It's great for the sport, great for the players. I forget how much money each player gets if their team
500K
wins.
to the winners, to the runners up 200K, to fourth place, or to fourth and fifth place 100K, and to the two teams, to the Celtics and the other teams that are the Celtics and and Kings, the teams that have lost, they each get 50. So
Yeah, but that
It's a new card.
Yeah, exactly. And that I hate this argument of, well, they're all multimillionaires. They still care about that money. They still want that money. And then you have like the coaches, the bench players who don't make a ton of money. It's huge for everybody.
100%.
It's exciting. I'm all for it.
Yeah, and right now we got right now as I'm speaking, Julius Randle has 36, and we are 2 minutes left into the third. Against the Bucks. The Bucks are up 106-92. The Bucks will wrap that one up. Giannis got 29. Giannis and Lillard are coming together, which is kind of scary. But it won't matter. It won't matter in the playoffs because defense wins. Defense does win championships. Let's be honest here. There's never been a team outside of the top 15 in defense to win, and Bucks are 21 right now. I don't care. There's no other way you can put it. Drew Holiday was the reason why the Celtics will still win. I know they lost in December, but I still have the Celtics as the front runner. So yeah, and there's these new awards, tournament MVP, and then there's also, which my favorite is the all tournament team. They each get a 20-pound crystal basketball as a trophy.
And that's fun.
That's
That's
sick.
fun.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the trophy looks good.
Exactly. It's great.
Yeah,
Courts
it's
look
good for
terrible,
basketball.
but
Yeah, they can fix that next year. But
They
Adam
need to.
Silver did the right thing, and I'm glad people are actually warm to the idea. Unlike, and I think the play-in tournament, or not the the play-in tournament, it was also a great thing Adam Silver did.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's good for
the only other thing that he needs to do, first round matchups, 5-game series. Bring it back.
really, you think so?
Don't make me watch the 1 seed beat up on the 8 seed. There's never an upset, ever.
Okay, so we're just gonna ignore last year.
Yep.
We're gonna ignore 2011 Grizzlies beating the Spurs in 6.
Yep.
We're gonna ignore the Knicks back in the 90s doing it.
I hate Latrell Sprewell.
All right, that's a terrible take, but go off. Go off.
Just like how we need to get rid of streaming services, but that's another argument for another day.
Streaming service. You mean like Hulu and stuff?
I mean, like, I have to go watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime.
Oh, save it for Ryan's rant. We can do that in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Are you ready? It's a pop-up rant. Get your things.
Yeah.
Get your get it in order. I want to talk about intriguing NBA storylines real quick. Number 1, the Thunder look great, excluding Giddey and that controversy. I didn't think Chet was gonna do it, but Chet looks like Kevin Durant, which is really scary. And Chet's the rookie of the year, sadly, as a Spurs fan. Really hurts. Really tarnishes Wemby's GOAT theory, but yeah. I'm not sure if you've been watching the Thunder, but I have.
I have
and
not. I have not.
they're stunning. They're playing great basketball, and you know who's playing better basketball is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Timberwolves are good.
But well, I wouldn't even say they're playing better basketball personally, because the Thunder lead the NBA in points per game. I think. Nope, the Hawks do, but that's the Hawks. They always lead the NBA in points per game. Yeah, they're top 2 in points per game, and they're top 10 in defense. This is a team that can go a long, long way, which is what I was saying earlier the year. The team that surprised me was the Timberwolves, honestly. But that being said, it's still the Celtics league, even though the Magic. if the Celtics play the Magic in the playoffs, it's over. Okay, Celtics title hopes in there.
It's true. It's true.
I don't.
They have
I
our
don't know what
number.
it is.
They have our number. I don't get it. It's just the way it is, I guess.
It's your boy Paolo. How do you say his name? Paul?
Paolo Banchero?
Wasn't it? What? Yeah, wasn't. Oh, Spencer was the one who was calling him Paul, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan's cousin Spencer, fan of the show. I mean, maybe we might see an appearance from him eventually.
Maybe. Don't count on it, but maybe.
He doesn't love us.
No.
He won't listen to this. He's kind of a hater, so it doesn't matter. We can
True.
trash talk all we want. So yeah, Celtics win for me. Jason Tatum will be MVP. Sadly, just a kid. He's just a kid from St. Louis.
He's
19 years old. He's 19.
Years old still.
Which is impressive, really. He's been 19 for this long. Giddy, take notes. Yikes. Anyways,
God.
50 minutes in. Thanks for sticking with us. Ryan, give me your rant on this streaming service thing. I'm really intrigued now.
Well, it's just ridiculous. It's, and I don't even have to, it's not even going to be that long or sophisticated of a rant as usual. It's really just, I hate that I have to own a million different streaming services to watch a freaking game that I want to watch. I can't just watch it on live TV, and now I'm battling blackouts and selective, I can't. It's mission impossible to watch the Patriots. It's like the way they have it set up, they're encouraging me to use illegal streaming services, which I don't do. And it's frustrating. and I have to watch these crappy ads on Amazon Prime, and I have to have a whole different setup going, and it.
I get it. I understand too.
It's just ridiculous, and it's just a clear money grab, and the finals presented by YouTube TV, and all the quality's crap, and it's just it's ridiculous, and I don't even know what the NFL on Nickelodeon is, but I hate that too.
Mitchell Trubisky, the MVP. Okay.
Good for him. Playing against the MVP on Thursday.
Yeah. True story. I forgot about that,
anyway,
actually.
I hate change.
Wow. It's not very Bostonian of you. Anyways, I like that rant because I agree. No, I agree. I have Amazon Prime. We have YouTube TV over here. We have Sling. We have I can't tell you how long it took me to pull up the stupid FSU game. All that to watch that game. That was awful. What a horrible experience. I still got to call Sling and tell them the refund.
Yeah.
Fubo. Yeah. I don't.
Terrible. It's terrible.
I have HBO,
it's only going to get
Hulu.
worse. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Just wait for the first league exclusive deal with a streaming service. It's over. That's coming in the next 2 years, guaranteed.
When the CBA expires next year, so
yeah,
it might be over sooner than we think.
And that's going to be the end of sports, as we know.
You know, I read somewhere the NFL is ending blackouts.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Maybe something to consider. But yeah, and if that happens, then the NBA won't be too far behind, and then the MLB, as the MLB does, will be last in everything. Man, what a bad time to be. If I ever get high up in MLB, I will dramatically change the game to what it should be. That's all I'm saying.
Good job.
It's an active threat. So Ryan, I think that was a great episode. I think we touched things we wanted to, and we didn't touch things that we didn't want to. Take notes, Josh Giddey. Go ahead and take us out.
The third one.
I think I've exhausted it. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the TYB podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, review, subscribe, follow us on social media. Helps us out, encourages us, and we always provide you with the best content. Be on the lookout for a lot more fan interaction and opportunities for you to make your voice heard and get involved with us. Thank you. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week.